Hello and welcome. Good evening. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 9 of the Antillian Mysteries campaign. My name is Dan. I'm D2 Players. I am the Dungeon Master. I'm leading the merry band of miscreants through this rampant world that I've created and seeing what they do with it. But yeah, so it's all good. So I hope you're all well. 9! Episode 9! Indeed it is, yes, that's scary. We're almost in double figures of episodes, which is incredible. I love. Hopefully you're loving it too. Without me prattling on too much. Hello to... Hello Erin. Hello Tyler. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening. And may we just firstly say... Happy birthday to you.
You're the worst.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tyler. Happy birthday to you.
Bravo.
Happy birthday, man. Thank you very much for joining us on your birthday. I feel very privileged.
Yeah, good to avoid that because my birthday is not on a D&D day.
My birthday isn't for another 10 months, so we're good.
It almost was a D&D day, and then it wasn't.
It almost was. I have actually no idea if my birthday is on a Durando day this year. No, it isn't. Fab. So that's not going to interfere.
Things can always change in 10 months, Dan.
No, nothing changes. We don't like change. Indeed, but yes, welcome along everybody. It is Durando time. Hope you two are both well. Hope you're too well.
You're off all day.
I've been.
He's off now. He is off now. Indeed, I have had a very busy week. After prepping. This is the great thing about D&D. You kind of think, yeah, they'll probably head in this direction. Nope. Complete opposite.
You really wanted us to go into either Skrulton or into the mountains, didn't you?
It wasn't wanted. It was I expected you to probably go one or the other. Because sort of like one or the other. One was leading towards someone's home. The other's leading towards you're going towards your guys' home, which I appreciate. The other was potentially leading towards coin. So as about.
Yeah, I mean, it would be possible. I would have done it if the other two hadn't said I was dead and said they're prostitutes in the area.
It's like either jail time or coin, and it was like we don't want.
I just don't want to deal with that mess. I'm like, nah, just forget it. I'm not clearing this up.
I love that you're so paranoid about Coston that you are worried about jail time. Shortly after a natural disaster. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I've not just had to prep an entire fucking city. It's not a worry, indeed. But yeah. So last we left off. Welcome to Lamoleanas, the hastily cobbled together rest of the city.
At some point, Dan.
I would have had to do it at some point, which is fine. But yes, it has been done. So I had ideas. It was all penned down. It just wasn't actually actualized. I kind of thought they're not going to go south for a long time. It's fine. Oh wait.
When you say that, that's when it happens.
Yes, I know. I'm very much aware of this.
Don't.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So last we left, you returned to Coston and very swiftly left again. Just deciding that it would be a good plan to go and head towards Maltharas. You decided instead of going through Neala and taking the smaller roads to go the southern road through Lamoleanas, which is where we find ourselves. You stayed your first night at the Ale and Hearty.
Yes. Which you could have gotten companionship for the night, which none of us did.
No, well, yeah, options are there. It's a free world. Since then, you've had a bit of time to wander around the city and discovering what appears to be the Lamoleanas archive, headed by one of the elders, Lamoleanas, after meeting Aetherin at the gates. Relorin, a dark-skinned humanoid figure with golden eyes, not irises, eyes, and various tattoos around him.
Wait, gold or
Gold
silver?
or silver? I have silver on my
I have
nose.
silver.
Silver eyes.
This is what happens when we force him to make up a city on the spot.
Yes, it's fine. Minor details. But yes, all around his face met you and gave you what small info that he had on Aldenac, and seemingly advised you to go and seek higher counsel.
Yes.
Since then, you stayed the night at the Silver Goblet, a slightly more upmarket establishment than the Ale and Hearty.
Yes.
Yes.
Ewan very much appreciates that.
Well, wasn't it you who searched the first night?
I think I searched because
You searched the first night.
but we didn't have much time.
The Ale and Hearty was your.
I don't think you two searched, so your lack of search resulted in an ale party?
Yes. But it wasn't our fault. You took the lead for that.
I was just trying to get us past the guards and out of trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Trouble's my middle name.
trouble does seem to locate you wherever you are. So after your night of rest at the Silver Goblet, you've all gained the benefits of a long rest. Have you not? If you've not done that already, you wake to a fairly brisk morning. The sound of the city outside is already bustling. The day is yours. What do you wish to do?
How much money do I have? I don't have enough money.
Well, what if you took the jobs?
Well,
I'm not bitter. I'm not
we
salty.
were worried about jail time. Some of us weren't the smartest. We just thought, it'd be yeah. We thought it'd be a wise decision not to stick around. Even though our names weren't on the paper, so.
It's fine. It's fine.
Gold there.
I'm not bitter.
No.
I'm not bitter.
Well.
Do we deduct pay for this silver goblet? I don't have it written down that who paid what for it or the cost for it.
I do not recall. I do not recall if you did or did not deduct the cost for it. We'll say you did.
Okay.
We'll say you did, just to be kind, because I haven't got it written here.
Okay.
Okay.
Someone is asking what you are garbed in.
That would be a onesie. That would be my onesie. Because it's
Batman
warm
one?
and cozy, and I was dealing with the small child before stream, which is why we're running late. But it is fine. It is fine. Yes, the going rate at the Silver Goblet is 7 silver a night per room.
Could we just say I used my by popular demand and?
We're just saying, sort of like it's just we'll call this one a mulligan.
Okay.
A DM mulligan, because I think it was the end of the session and I was knackered and didn't write it down.
Okay.
Oh shoot! No, actually, I would. Never mind. Retcon that. I would not have danced.
It's fine.
Okay. Interesting.
It's fine. So,
Also, retcon detail from last week. I would have been at least some sort of covered up at least my horns or done something to kind of disguise when we go out.
Yeah, it's fine. So you've got cloaks and stuff, so it's fine. You could easily hood up. As it's a bustling city, no one's particularly looking for you, as far as you're aware.
But it's best, yeah.
That's fine.
Just...
Don't worry about it. Okay. So yes, the day is yours. Definitely not prostitutes. What do you wish to do?
We're definitely not the prostitutes, but yeah. Well, I was joking around with Tyler saying I could go work the corner for money if he wants it.
No.
So, is Vistra still sleeping?
Vistra is currently sort of like snoring away in the room, seemingly sort of like having a bit of a sleep in.
So, we're not all in the same room. We're in our own rooms, right? Or 2 rooms, or
2 rooms.
Yeah, I think
you and Vistra sharing, and then Irid with his own princely single bedroom.
I know back when in the Ale and Hearty, Quinn went and slept in Irid's room because she didn't know what Vistra was going to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah, here if we knew that there wasn't going to be extra showing up. Okay. Are we down getting food maybe, or are we?
I mean, going down to breakfast.
Yeah, are you still in your room, or?
I would say I would have gotten down breakfast and get whatever tavern food for the morning.
Absolutely fine.
Yeah, Quinn's done the same, so she's just let Vistra just kind of keep sleeping. She seems
out.
pretty.
Roll a stealth check.
Oh God.
See how sneakily you can dip out of the room.
19 plus 5 is 24.
Vistra doesn't even know you've gone. You leave so quietly, no floorboard creaks, the door doesn't make a sound.
Fish a heavy sleeper.
Vistra's a fairly heavy sleeper tonight. It's just evidently sort of like, she'd the exertions of the last few days have got to her. That's fine. Yep, you find your way downstairs. The Silver Goblet itself is already fairly busy. It's a slightly larger inn than you've been used to sort of over the past few months. You are sort of like 2 of the 13 rooms upstairs. Downstairs is adequately sized. There's a separate section for those who are sort of like eating compared to those who are sort of sitting currently drinking, enjoying a morning beverage. There's no. The one thing you do notice is there's no drunks. There's no town drunks, city drunks, kind of like again that you're used to seeing in the collected style and otherwise, who are there just drinking for the sake of drinking. Everyone there is having a nice drink, but then a couple of meeting. There's a few people having breakfast, a few couples having breakfast. Several groups of friends who are sort of like potentially just on a day's excursion, sitting and quietly chatting and enjoying a nice wine. And as you come down, the female half elf, who is currently maître the floor, comes over to you. Oh, yes, hello. I take it you enjoyed your night's sleep. Can we get you anything?
Just a simple breakfast.
Simple breakfast, not a problem. Is it just for 2?
We might have a third soon, but we don't know how soon.
Yeah, she's taken to sleeping in today.
Well, that's absolutely fair play. We judge not. Do not worry. Absolutely fine. So 2 for breakfast. Yes, do come this way. Do come this way. And shows you to a nice table, sort of by the side, with room for a third, should you wish it. Comes over, takes orders. Would you have any preference, or just the nice standard tavern breakfast?
Standard?
What's your standard here?
Our standard here is a small selection of meats and breads. Fish, should you require it, can be cooked on order. There's a small extra charge for fish, of course.
The meat and bread is perfectly fine.
Fantastic. And for you, my lady?
The same.
Fantastic. And she gives you a little nod and wanders off back into the back room. Okay, no problem. So a few moments pass, and a small dwarven gentleman, very well groomed. A lot of the dwarves you used to seeing around Coston, sort of fairly rough and ready. A lot of them are manual labourers. This dwarf has very, very finely braided, dark brown hair that comes into a very sort of like nicely braided ponytail. His beard is very well kept and sort of like and very manscaped. It's a good foot in length, this beard, but it's very, very shapely, very neat, very tidy. Whereas you're used to seeing like bits of twig and stone dust in dwarven beards in Coston, this one is clean, it's immaculate. Comes out and brings over both plates of food, sort of a plate of bread and a plate of meats. Your breakfast. Were we putting this on your tab?
Yes.
Fantastic. Right, good day, enjoy. And wanders back into the back.
a lot different than the ale and hearty. I'm gonna say.
Yes, this is much more accommodating to my standards.
You can live
You posh,
Yes.
posh dragonboard.
without having to have all those comforts.
I mean, I did just fine out in the wild without the comforts. I just prefer having them.
Indeed. So, breakfast is enjoyed. What do you wish to do?
Quinn, I think you mentioned you want to look for supplies the other day when we first came in here.
Supplies, or maybe even a quick job. I doubt we could get a quick job in here to earn some money, but yeah, let's see what kind of stuff they have around town. Considering we are kind of low on stuff like healing.
Yes, I would want to pick up a few spells, but I'm not sure how much spells they have around here.
Can always check, look, see.
You okay, Dan?
Yes,
Someone
that's my head.
Someone just hit their knee against the table, I guess, over there.
Nope, someone just hit their head against a picture frame. That I still need to put up.
I was like, how'd you hit your head against the picture frame? I'm like, oh, I see it now.
Ow.
Do you need anything else, or?
I mean, we can always, as you said, we always need more healing, but I don't have anything that I super need.
Dan,
Oh, wait.
I have a question. Could I
Yes.
possibly find some bigger size chakram in the city, or?
You have no idea. You have absolutely no idea.
I want to look to see if that's one of the things I want to find. See if I can find.
Okay.
Increase my chakram.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
Yeah, stuff.
How is bind spells working in your campaign? Like, and the book says like the cost of it is 50 GP for the spell per level. But do I also have to like purchase ink and paper, or how does that work?
You would need ink and paper to be able to sort of like essentially sort of.
Okay.
You'd need ink because you'd have a spell book.
Yeah, I have ink. I have 1 ounce, so I don't know how much is per page. And I have 1 piece of parchment.
Do you need ink? Because I have 3 ounces of ink.
Why do you have ink?
I think it's from like my class. No, my background. I think I got ink there. I probably got ink elsewhere. I don't know. I just have. It says I have 3 bottles of ink.
Okay.
I just wanted to know, so before spell wise.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, I'd say, how much ink would you need to... Wow, okay. Thank you, Google. How much ink would you need to kill, apparently, is one of the suggested options. No thanks. How much
All right,
need
then.
to...
Okay, I guess not.
Okay.
5E. I'm going to say, just for the sake of ease, that 1 ounce would be 1 spell,
Okay.
which works for me.
So it's for me to get a new spell, it's the cost of one ounce of ink, 1 sheet of paper, and then the spell cost.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay. There's one to get prices down.
Not a problem at all.
I don't know.
Obviously, there might be varying differences between different towns, different shops, depending on
Okay.
supply and demand, market conditions. But yeah, more a rough. It's like that sort of like the rough price for a basic healing potion is 50 gold. But again, it might differ depending on where you're buying it from and the situations around that area.
Okay.
Things like that. You would have a rough idea of how much a spell would roughly cost.
Okay.
Okay. So you want to search for chakram?
Yes.
Um,
And healing things.
Potions.
Chakram that are bigger than what I currently have. So
okay, so chakram.
stuff that would considered medium/large.
How much coin do you have?
I have 200 something.
Large. You wouldn't be able to wield large weapons.
They're just they're size-wise. It's a bigger, so it's not like small. It'd be just. I don't know. Dan, it's your call.
It's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
Mostly probably the next size up kind of thing, so make it medium, not.
Are they smaller?
Make it medium.
I have small ones right now.
Okay, then you could go up to medium.
Not a problem. Right. Okay. In that case, and you want to find spell, sort of like somewhere to buy spells. Okay. In that case, firstly, Quinn, roll me an investigation check.
Oh God, what is my invest? Oh, this is gonna be good. Okay. Which dice wants to be the lucky duck to? Oh, bad. Oh, that fell. Okay, I'm gonna pick. Natural 1.
Fantastic.
We're gonna ignore that one.
You spend the next hour sort of like of the morning, sort of like having a lovely wander around the city, and the sights you see are quite pretty. Having sort of like a small memory of Manfaras. This reminds you a little bit of that. There is a little bit of almost like a royal vibe within this city, without it being the capital itself. The architecture is very, very nice. There's some buildings that are just entirely marble, with town guards placed outside. You see wandering down to the south of the city, you see a beautiful grove as the housing breaks, and off in the distance a gigantic palace. You manage to find what seems to be kind of the main shopping area within the city. The locals seem to refer to it as the Gilded Arch. And you don't manage to find anywhere that's sort of like you find a couple of blacksmiths, a couple of weaponsmiths. Nothing resembling your chakram at all. You do find an apothecary. It's fairly obviously labelled with apothecary outside. Above the door seems to be a script. What language do you speak?
Me?
Yes.
Oh God, common, infernal, and undercommon.
Yeah, you have no idea what this says.
Hey, Sparkles, is he? Yeah, he's with me, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Irid, what language do you
Can
speak?
you read this?
I'm pretty sure I only speak Common, Draconic, and Celestial.
You have no idea what this says.
I think we should go in.
It appears to be an elven. That's fine, yeah. Assumedly you've left a note for Vistra to find you at some point.
We are exploring the city.
I just realised I'm on the wrong thing. Hang on. There we go. I was on the wrong scene. I was on the three camera scene, not the 2 camera scene. Well done me and not checking what my stream deck was set up to. But there we are. That's better. We can see you now. Indeed. So you go in. The shop itself is quite beautifully set out. The stone interior sort of that makes way for a beautiful carved wooden floor. The shelves are sort of beautifully stocked and very, very neat. The shop itself isn't very wide, it's quite long and thin. And over the other end of the shop, sort of like you see sort of attending to some shelves, a human male. Fairly elderly, sort of he's got a very long grey beard. His hair is starting to wane from the front and generally sort of mostly just reside around the sides. There's a fire sort of like crackling behind the counter at the back that you can see. He looks up and looks over to you. Ah, yes, hello, yes, do come in. How can I help you?
We're We're looking for possibly healing potions.
Ah, healing potions, of course, no problem. What sort of, sorry, do apologise. It's the time of year, you see. What level of healing potion are you after there?
What level do we need, Sparkles?
I'm not buying the other one with the buddy.
Probably just the basic healing potions, just to kind of keep the edge off of stuff.
Basic healing potions, not at all. Yes. Wanders over to the back. Starts rifling through a drawer, sort of like under the counter. Yes. How many are you after there?
How many do you have, Sparkles?
I don't think I have any.
Someone has one, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Is that Mishra? So we bought something at the Hunter's Lodge.
Yeah, I don't have one.
Maybe.
Not me.
No, we got something that was healing. 2? Do we want 2? I already have one, but we're, 2?
2 sounds adequate.
No, 2.
2, not a problem. Yes, perfect, fine. Okay, that will be 100 gold.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
No problem.
Enough.
Would you like a bag?
Is that extra?
No, it's a bag.
Yes. Oh, I was wondering though if it's extra, because there's some places that they're all fancy and they charge more.
Don't to the point of a fancy bag. We have fancy bags you can buy if you'd like, but it's just, and literally just like pulls out from a drawer a really small leather pouch that's sort of like just going to hold a couple of healing potions.
Just if it's not going to cost, put it in the bag.
Yeah, no problem at all. Ties it off. There we are. What's your name, might I ask?
Quinn?
Quinn, pleased to meet you. And you are?
Irid.
Irid. Very, very, very rare to see people of your kind around here, isn't it?
I'm not from this area, so I wouldn't know. Are you saying you've seen some other Dragonborn around?
Well, it's a big city, but generally, Dragonborn generally live over in the other continent. Hildania doesn't often see too many, especially this far inland.
Yes, I'm just wandering around for a bit.
Wandering? Well, you enjoy your wander, indeed. You enjoy your wander. It's a lovely place to wander around, isn't it, Lamoleanas? Have you ever been here long?
Have I been what? Did you say?
Have you been here long in Lamoleanas?
No, we just got in 2 nights ago.
Oh, I see. Just staying for long? I mean, I can definitely recommend a few places you should see.
We're unsure at this point. There's some things we need to do. We have to see what the city has.
Are there places that offer coin for some work that possibly some travelers could earn a little pocket money while we're around?
Yes, I mean the city hall has a board outside next to the military reserves and next to the guard posts. Yes, I'm fairly certain that the city hall would probably have something like that.
And the city hall is where?
Oh, sorry, of course, yes, if you're new here, aren't you? My apologies. Yes, if you head out in any kind of direction, sort of like, fairly easy directions, it's probably a good 10-minute walk, but you're fairly confident you can make head to tail of them. Yes.
Okay.
Is there anything else we can get for you?
Sparkles, do you need? Well,
I'm
caught your name.
My name? Oh, I do apologize. I am Kizol. Pleased to meet you.
What was that?
Kizol. Kizol.
K-I-Z-O-L.
Z.
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 Zed is a champion in League of Legends.
Zed is a dead character in another campaign that I played in.
Zed is a letter. Yes, not a problem. Yes, no. Glad you could stop by my humble apothecary.
Sparkles, do you want to ask about what you're looking for?
Sparkles. I thought you said his name is
Irid.
Irid.
It is Irid. Sparkles is just a nickname.
Irid
Quinn
Sparkles.
likes to give
See.
me.
He looks
No.
sparkly, doesn't he?
Well, yes, very. I mean, pardon me for saying, but a little bit, like her.
Like her. Who do you mean?
Never mind.
No. You said like her. I'm very keen on who you mean.
Roll me an intelligence check. Just a straight intelligence check.
Okay. Let's go with new dice. Don't let me down. 12.
12. It's fairly obvious that he's hinting towards Tiamat.
Tiamat's a platinum dragon, correct?
No.
Tiamat is
that's the five-headed.
Yeah, Tiamat is a 5.
Oh, no, Tiamat's
one
a
of every
5
colour.
colour.
Yeah.
Full one.
5 colours. And say with your prismatic scale, there'd be sort of like hints of various colours.
Oh, wait, is she prismatic? I didn't know that.
She's five different heads.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, It's essentially sort of like it's the iridescence of your scales would be something that people might be wary of.
Okay. Well, I can assure you I'm not related to her.
Well, it's quite. I mean, you're missing 4 heads for one.
I mean, I have an extra hand. That's about it. And this just pops up on the shoulder.
Oh my!
It's Bob.
It looks
Don't
like
worry,
it
his
might need
name
an
is
ointment.
Bob.
I have one, and he starts ruffling around the desk.
No, he's
I have
fine.
an
He's
ointment,
fine.
please. He looks a little bit.
Moisturize him.
Yes, he does. Yes, exactly, Quinn. Exactly. Needs some moisturising.
I'm not sure how much good is going to do him.
Quiz just she's gotten amused at this point.
Yes, I have it somewhere. Yes. Here we go. Yes, and pulls out sort of this little bottle of sort of like really, really pale yellow liquid in it. Yes, and gives it a shake. So Sniffer goes, yes, on the house. Here we are for your friend.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Yes, yes. It doesn't look healthy, does it? Talking to Quinn. No.
Bob could use some moisturizer, I think.
Yeah, well,
I think I should just get him a fancy glove.
I think he should get a hat. Is there any hat shops here in town?
He's not getting a hat, Quinn.
He's kind of like looking a little bit strangely between the two of you. I mean, there's various tailors, and yes, no, I'm fairly certain there's a haberdashery over towards the east of the town. Yes, if you look towards the artisan quadrant of the Gilded Arches, I'm sure we could find some kind of apparel. Although
Sounds good.
he doesn't really have a head, I'm not quite sure how you're going to fit it on him.
You put it like where his right up, here, in this part.
Where the stump is?
So like where he walks, and you put it like right there, and he has a little hat.
The hat's not going to stay.
A hat on him to kind of show.
The second the hat appears, Biss is going to move.
I don't think he likes a hat.
We will get him to like the hat. It's just the hat can't move with him now.
Yeah, gloves might not be a bad idea, though. It's just, his skin's a little off colour.
Yes. Given that you work with potions, was there any place I can go around here, learn some more arcane spells?
Let me think. There's a very sort of, it's a bit grumpy, but there's a scholar
over towards the far north of the city. Yes, his name his name's Manny. He's occasionally comes in for various potions and salves, as he's occasionally partially blown himself up.
Wow.
He tells me it's an occupational hazard. Yes, I'm sure. But yes, no, you're more than welcome to go see him.
All right, I shall definitely pay him a visit while in here.
Yes, that's fantastic. Yes, anything else I can help you two lovely people with?
I think that's it.
Yes, I think I'm quite satisfied. Thank you for the ointment.
Oh, we do aim to satisfy. Yes, no, my pleasure. Do take care in the city and enjoy your stay. Take care.
Thank you. Good day.
Goodbye.
It's sort of like stands and watches and sort of like literally constantly waving, sort of like chirpily, as he watches you leave the store, still waving.
I just had a thought. I don't know if whether Biss is a left or right hand.
Roll.
Yeah, roll for it. What? Roll for it. D6. Evens is left. Odds is right.
Odds.
He is a right-hander.
He's a right hand.
He's a right-hand.
Use your right hand.
Okay.
Right.
Because I really want to. I need to know that. So when I go buy a glove, and I'm just buying the one glove.
I think you should wear the other glove just as a
Michael Jackson.
as a
Already sparkly enough.
as a matching pair. Okay, so
Right.
leaving the apothecaries, you wander about. Where would you like to go next?
There's either the scholar. So your scholar was it Manny?
Yeah. Yeah.
Manny. Manni.
Okay. And he's to the north, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then there's the tailors/haberdashery. That's an artisan district. We can wait on that. I just had to ask.
Oh dearie me.
I had to ask because it's an ongoing thing. It's not like it suddenly popped up. We know that Quinn keeps trying to put a hat on Bob, so
Bob,
gonna happen.
this just doesn't do it.
it's gonna happen.
Just no.
Don't worry, there's gonna be hats for your skeletons.
Oh God.
They're not. No.
Okay, so you're wandering up to.
I think
The
did you
scholar.
have? Yeah. Let's go to Manny.
Manny, okay.
Because we're gonna have to go to City Hall at some point too.
Yes.
That's fine. Wandering sort of up north, following the directions that Kizar gave you, you find a sort of like a row of houses towards the north, with one house that seems a little bit separate. It's kind of a gap between sort of like this obviously residential housing, and then this one slightly run down looking, occasionally sort of slightly blackened around the windows and door. Shop / home. There is no sign on the door, but Kizol's description of the house itself was fairly obvious that this is it. The door is currently closed. The windows are partially boarded, but you feel that's more for the fact that sort of like they are so broken that the boarding is probably to keep the cold out.
I'll go ahead and knock on the door. Manny, are you in?
Moment passes. No answer. Nothing.
This is your stop. So
Yeah. Do I hear anything? Like anyone moving around, any shuffling?
Make a perception check.
could Bob see through the door with his blinds?
I think we already established he can't.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He does not have X-ray vision.
Darn! I thought he was Superman. What'd you do?
That's a 0.
Oh my gosh. Is that a nat what? Like, what was that?
That was a net 1. I have a -1 to perception.
Wow. You go to lean your head against the door, sort of like to have a listen in. But as you kind of like sort of like turn your head, you go towards the door a little bit too ferociously, and bash your head on the door. You kind of like, you're very sore. You kind of like a little bit dazed and sort of, you know, rubbing your eyes and sort of like you're looking at Quinn, sort of like seeing sort of like, you know, two Quinns, sort of like, you know, floating between each other, and then shaking your head, it sort of like becomes 3, and then sort of shaking your head again, it becomes 2, and then you hear nothing other than the ringing in your head.
Doesn't look like he's in.
It sounds like it, yeah. I'm sure he would have come and answered by this point.
Oh, I knocked twice. I didn't mean to the second time.
You suddenly feel a bit of a tap on your shoulder.
Okay. I'll turn around and see what's there.
Nothing.
Interesting.
Wait, what?
I felt something on my shoulder. That wasn't Biss. I'm gonna go into Biss's blind side and see what's around me.
2 seconds.
Oh. Oh.
I love it when the DM gets out the rule books.
I know.
Biss sees nothing.
What the?
Quinn then feels a tap on her shoulder.
Fuck. What the fuck? What did you bring us to?
I brought us to a scholar with magic, and he doesn't seem to be in, but something's going on.
You then both simultaneously, all stood next to each other, feel a tap on your shoulders.
Okay, this seems.
Can I attempt to see if it's a spell, like with a knowledge arcana check or something?
Make an arcana check.
Okay. Okay.
Well, you roll this one.
Yeah, I know.
Quinn at this point has grabbed her chakrams out and is like ready to.
It's an 8 total.
You are not sure. You feel it could be some kind of spell, but you have absolutely no idea. However, it is at that point, sort of like you hear, sort of from, you know, a window just above you. Oh,
Okay, we're gonna put the chakrams back.
Is,
You having fun up there? We heard you.
is the window in the same building as the one we're trying to get into, or is this a
Yes.
different building? Okay.
Don't make me come up there.
That's what people can get entering.
Look, I have coin to spin. Are you gonna want it or not?
You sort of see a head, sort of like a poke, sort of like down above the window, sort of like you can see the top of her hair. You see kind of like a purple sort of quiff. Coin, is that?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm leaving this to you. I'm not dealing with this.
Puddles downstairs. The door doesn't move, but you sort of hear a voice clearly on the other side say, "It's open, come through."
Sparkles, I'm following your lead.
I'm just gonna push open the door.
Biss goes through the number door and goes straight through it.
There we go. All right, just walk on through,
okay.
Quinn.
Okay.
Okay. You both tentatively walk through the door, and you pass through without issue. You enter a lounge which is slightly singed in various places. The rug on the floor at one point was probably a very beautiful rug. You can see sort of like there's a couple of marks where it's gone completely. The edge is very singed. The furniture, most of which has been repaired probably several times from being blown to pieces. And in front of you stands a rather sort of cheekily grinning half-elf. Half-elf male with a purple quiff. He's got a lovely little sort of purple goatee to match. And is currently sort of like standing there and going, yes, thank you. I do apologise. Don't often get people coming to say hello, and I take what advantage I can get.
I can see why many people won't stop by, but that's besides the point at the moment.
Whatever do you mean?
Just ignore him. He wants to talk spells.
Yes.
I see. Okay. Oh, yes. And he sort of claps his hands and sort of three chairs, sort of like one literally walks to behind him and plunks himself down it, and two sort of walk up behind you.
I have one spell I'm looking for. Yeah, I've heard of it. It's called Ray of Sickness. Do you happen to have that one?
Ray of Sickness. Yeah, let me have a look. Not really. Not overly my forte. Oh
no, that's Kizol. Get my NPCs confused.
Let me have a look.
And sort of like wanders over to sort of the shelves. Tarquin, can you search those shelves over there, please? Look for any kind of sicknessy spells.
What was the name he said?
Tarquin.
Tarquin.
Tarquin. Do we see anything, or is just
Make a perception check.
God, dog in my lap. Okay. 13.
13. You don't see anybody, but after sort of like 30 seconds or so, you sort of see the books start to just move as if someone's rifling through them.
Okay. All right.
And he pulls it out. We'll see one sort of like book over on that side come out. Pages flick, closes, goes back in. Meanwhile, Manny is over the other side, sort of searching through. After goes,
no, I suppose.
and comes back over with two books in his hand.
I do apologise. I don't have Ray of Sickness. I do have Ray of Frost. Kind of similar. Not very fun. Got this one here. What's this? I can't read this one. No, that's not it. No, Tarquin, have you got anything? Comes over with a book of a book that sort of the pages sort of like very sort of like worn and torn, and you can see sort of a few sort of like burnt thumbprints on the edge of the cover. Got this one here. What's this one? Yes. Shield. That's no good.
No, I already have that one in my collection.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Might I ask, your friend on your shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
isn't it adornment? What is it?
He's a hand.
It's Bob.
Bob! I see. Fantastic. Okay.
Quinn, don't embarrass me in front of the wizard.
Wizard.
He's weirder than you. I don't think that's possible.
Yes. You feel a tap on your shoulder.
Whose
And Image. I have to think of your name then. And the book is sort of like floating in front of you, and sort of like, and the pages open and flick, and you can see this one says Ray of Enfeeblement.
Oh, wait, what is that? Hang on. I need to check with the spell.
Second level.
Oh, I can't do second level.
Yet, no.
Yeah, I don't have money for second level.
How do you know?
I don't have Wave because
Well, he hasn't named a price yet, so
there's a standard price and it's over 100 gold. That's how it works.
you
That's how
never
that.
he might down some. Okay, just ask about it.
Well, I need to see if it's one I actually want though. It's a tempting spell, but I think this one might be out of my price range. How much is this spell that's floating in front of me?
Enfeeblement. Be 110 gold.
I look at the coin. I'm like, I whisper, I don't have that much.
How much do you have?
Let's quickly clip my tab. I only have 43 gold. I won't be able to use it yet either. That'd be a future investment.
Maybe yes. Maybe we need to work for the city hall a little bit.
All right. I don't think this spell is for me at the moment, though. We stick.
Bookmark it.
Yeah, we may be. We're staying in town for a little while, so we may come back later and purchase it then.
Yeah, not a problem at all. That's fine. I mean, I'm generally a little light on necromantic spells. Not often a school I've particularly dabbled in.
I mean, necromancy is just another form of life.
Well, I don't disagree. I mean, but you appreciate, you have your schools of passion. I have mine.
And what might yours be?
Some enchantments, some transmutation, anything I can have fun with. Like Tarquin here. He's lovely, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Indeed, yes. Everyone needs an unseen servant every now and then. He makes fantastic tea. Would you like one?
Some tea? Sure.
Tea? Tarquin, go make some tea, thank you.
Quinn's just like, have you sat down, Tyler?
Oh no, yeah. I probably was standing cause I'm just.
Quinn has not. She has not sat on this chair, especially if it walked towards her. She is like, just gonna kind of stand there awkwardly.
The chair sort of like, as you shift your body weight, it's kind of like sort of trying to sort of like make sure it's perfectly behind you. So should you want to sit any time, it is there.
Is there a wall or something she could go lean on to get away from this chair that keeps coming up?
Yeah, that's fine. You go lean on the wall. The chair itself walks over, turns around, backs itself up against the wall next to you.
Sparkles, what is this?
It's enchanted, Quinn. Just go with it.
Okay. I'm just gonna try my best to ignore this chair that's right there.
Okay, it happily sort of like stays by you, waiting for when you might want to sit. Dutifully.
Yes, sort of Tarquin, sort of like you see a tray with tea wandering back after a couple of minutes. Manny's still sort of like searching his scrolls, going, yes, I've got stuff here somewhere. Be right with you. Tarquin, yes, tea. Do sit. Don't.
Yeah, I'll take a seat as I see the tea coming.
Not a problem. Sort of like Manny sort of like notices sort of like you, Quinn, leaning against the wall and goes, "It doesn't bite. It's a chair."
I'm good. I've been sitting all day. I need to stretch my legs.
I see. Perfectly fine. He kind of like snaps his fingers in the chair, sort of. He walks like back to sort of like where the chairs were originally, and sort of like plonks itself near it. You almost see it sort of like turn, sort of like as if it's looking towards you, and then turning back, and then turning to look towards you, and turning back and just almost like sitting down in a huff. You've scorned the chair.
Weird magic. It's weird magic. She's used to other stuff and not.
You have scorned the chair.
Fine.
Add to enemies. Chair.
Out in the back alley. We can
Chair is enemy.
Who wants to go?
Indeed. So after a minute, sort of like Manny comes over and sort of like gets himself a tea and goes, thank you, Tarquin. It's really good tea, really good. Makes it from leaves from the grove itself. It's beautiful. So what brings you to Lamoleanas and myself? I don't often get visitors.
Wait, sorry, what was that?
I don't often get visitors.
Well, I myself have just been traveling. I'm on my way to Amaltheras, and this is partly on the way through. And I was searching for more spells out of my spell book, and we inquired at the apothecary. I don't have his name down. Kiesel. And he suggested you if I wanted to look for more spells.
Kiesel, yes. I've been a very, very good customer of his over the years. I do apologise for the state of the place. Experimentation can lead to some unfortunate side effects. I'm sure you're aware.
Understandable.
Yes, no, and see this, and he lifts up his hand. It's my fourth one. Doing well. Kind of like sort of like shakes it, sort of like and flexes it and goes, yes. Hoping not to get to the whole 9 lives cat thing, but we're doing well so far. We're alive, and had some interesting spell discoveries. Very interesting spell discoveries.
What is your most interesting spell then?
Fireballs do not work indoors.
I assume they work indoors, but not the space is just a little too small.
Yes, exactly. But everything seems to kind of like come in on itself, and the explosions. The walls are very limiting for its capabilities. Doesn't work.
I see.
Doesn't work. And kind of like scratches the back of his head, where you notice there is a patch of hair just missing. Yes. No, it was a very fun discovery. But other than that, sort of like Tarquin sort of is a permanent fixture now for myself, which is quite nice. He's always there, aren't you, Tarquin? Sort of like you see sort of like the back of his head just go. Why can you not let me call you Tarquin? And he kind of like turns around and looks at the space behind him and glares at it.
Is your unseen servant does not like that name?
He can get a bit temperamental. Yes, that's another, I suppose, side effect of having him around permanently is he gets grumpy. Very grumpy. But I suppose, he can't drink, can't eat, can't rest. He's just there, serving me. I'd get grumpy too. He carries on sipping his tea.
Yeah, I drank while having this conversation.
What are your names, by the way?
My name is Lysius.
Gesundheit.
And it's not a name. I would be careful mocking my name. It is the name of the king of... Oh, shoot, where am I from? Gnarthalon, yes.
Yes, no, well. I can't really make mocking of names. My
My surname is somewhat of a mouthful. Indeed, but yes, but no, it's a lovely name. Silesius, did you say?
Yes.
I appreciate Silesius, yes. Yes, no, yes, good old King Silesius, I met him once, you know. Met him once.
Did you now?
Yes, only briefly. I was over in Maltharas myself in my younger days. Yes, I was a little more boring then. Just a very...
Wait, you said he was in Meltharas. Was he Meltharas or Gnathalon?
He was in Maltharas.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you know, sort of like, you know, from younger days, it's not uncommon for your father to take sort of, you know, emissary
I'm just
trips
checking to
across
see where... Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'd never go to Gnathalon. No, climate's very much not to my liking. No, I prefer it here. Much milder.
I'm curious. What is your surname?
My surname... What? Oh, bless you. What's your surname?
I don't have one. But my name is Quinn.
Fair enough. No, my surname is Llangarrigan.
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
Okay, out of character. I need that spelling.
Llangadddd. Llangethi. Ygellan.
Oh my gosh, all the double letters. Tyler's the new thing that you can complain about.
I'm not ever saying his name.
I just needed to know for the
Yes. I mean, to be fair, Manny works just as well. Which is shortened as well. My parents are cool.
What's it shortened from?
Manny Stadgerton.
Bless you.
Indeed.
I'm not even gonna...
Alright, as I'll finish drinking my tea and kind of just like hold it out, like waiting for Tarquin to like try and take it back.
Manny sort of like watches your hand sort of like intensely for a moment.
Tarquin?
Oh, I thought you. Sorry, I thought you were about to show me something. No, yes.
Oh,
sorry.
no.
Yes,
My mistake.
Tarqui.
And you sort of like see sort of like, you know, Manny Chef bump a little bit as the cup and saucer is then taken from your hands.
You'll get used to it. Yes, indeed. Yes. Sorry for the pranks while you were knocking. I couldn't resist.
Okay, quick question out of character.
Mm-hmm.
Is Quinn kind of like sitting behind Sparkles at this point? Is the wall that she's leaning against behind Sparkles, but like somewhere where...
The wall that you would have been against would be sort of like to the left of Irid.
So he could potentially see me.
Yeah, he could see you.
What's going on? Minor illusion something. I don't know what. I was gonna minor illusion something. I hope you notice.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Oh god. Okay. 12 plus 3 is 15.
Okay.
So I want Manny to notice, but I don't want Sparkles to.
That's fine. Oh, Manny notices, and the moment sort of like you start raising your hand and sort of like casting, he lifts his hand and the spell fizzles.
He counterspelled you.
I had a cool parlor trick.
Oh, sorry. You should have said. I mean, pardon me. You know, if someone starts casting something without telling me, I get a little jumpy sometimes.
It's rude. I was trying to mess with Sparkles here.
Oh, we should have given me the universal symbol.
What's the universal symbol? So next time I know.
A wink.
Okay. Well, I can't do it now. He knows.
Yes, Quinn. And thank you for your hospitality, Manny. I'm sure we'll be back. We have a few other supplies to get and probably be looking for a few jobs around town, but we'll be sure to come visit you again.
Oh, please do. Yes, indeed, yes. This coin goes all to good use.
And hopefully you don't have to prank us next time we come.
Promise.
And gives you a wink.
I see.
So don't prank us. We might bring someone else with us next time. You could totally do it to them.
Oh, I'm more than happy for you to prank the dwarf that's with us occasionally.
Oh, yes, please.
We'll give you a wink as we're coming.
I like that plan. Yes, indeed. Fantastic. No, yes. Until next time, Erytoclesis and Just Queen.
Alright. So Ear gets up and walks out.
No problem. As you walk out, the door itself is still there.
Well, I'll wait till we're like out of earshot, then start talking with Quinn again. So, well, that was certainly an eccentric individual.
What are you doing with the door? Sort of, are you just?
Oh, I was just gonna push through it. Like I'm like slowly like push my hand, like see if it's illusion or whether there's an actual door again.
There's an actual door.
Okay, then I push it.
It opens and you hear Manny go, "Damn, I was hoping you walk through."
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you.
Indeed. Get you next time. And sort of waves his hand at the door, closes itself behind.
Alright. And then
Walked a considerable distance.
yeah, I'm just like walking, I'm not saying anything, and then I'm like waiting until
We're
like
heading towards the city hall at this point, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that was certainly an eccentric individual, Quinn.
Aren't you glad Vistra's sleeping?
I mean, I would love to see some of the reactions to the chair too.
I would, but I think for a first go,
I don't know what
good
she would
idea.
do if she licked magic wood.
that and I'm sure she and Manny would get along splendidly after the whole pranks.
Mm-hmm.
And you're probably going to be staring us down like you're going to kill us even more.
Let's see what coin's available. He does have some interesting spells.
It's your choice. Let's go get your coin that we lost out on because you're dead. Cough.
Okay.
What do you mean lost out on?
Because we told you that we didn't get the payment for the
Mm.
thing because you were gone. I'm pretty sure that was the lie we told you.
I'm pretty sure you told me that you got a bonus because I was there and I
you
let
didn't
you.
get paid because the shipment didn't get through. Or something. I forget.
I don't remember that part.
We told you something, and we told you we did. We only got the 100 gold or something. I think.
How much gold do you have left, Quinn, after those potions?
169.
Is that Quinn telling me or that you telling me?
That is Aaron telling Tyler. Was that question for?
That was a question for Quinn.
I would need to count my money after that. It was a lot.
Well, I'm fairly good with numbers. I could count it for you.
Let's just go see what the town hall has.
Such a hoarder.
We know it.
Okay.
It's not like I don't have a crossbow or crossbow bolts or anything because of picking them up from distance.
Bear in mind, I will make you incumbent after a while if you keep hoarding things.
It says I'm unencumbered right now.
For now.
At some point, don't worry, I plan on doing some sort of, I don't know, I'm just gonna go YOLO and just fire bolts off somewhere, so.
You don't have a bag of holding, you have a satchel.
Yes.
You have basic supplies and a satchel.
Hey, this hand crossbow costs 75 gold, so I can sell it.
Not for that much.
Costs 75 gold. When new.
Well, it's gold.
Indeed. How much you get for it is my discretion.
I know.
Okay, so heading to the town hall
Mm-hmm.
for the drop board. No worries. The town hall itself is fairly easy to find, although sort of to call it a hall would be probably a bit of an understatement. It's as you approach it, it's on its own kind of almost estate. It is. It's a complex of buildings of varying architectures, like it's been expanded on over time from different people and different styles. In the centre of it stands a gigantic, probably sort of like 150 sort of like feet tall, very fairly wide set tower of white stone. Again, it's a stone that you recognise to be Antillian stone. Of Grinjaw stone. Some of the rest of it is a very intricate carved sandstone. Some of it is a very sort of granity stone. There is a large entrance that sort of like is surrounded by a couple of annexes. Make a perception check, each of you, just for lols, just to make you also guess.
5.
19.
Irid, you find yourself sort of like taken in by the interest of this architecture, the varying styles. Sort of like you note some elven sort of like hints here, some dwarven hints here, sort of like some fairly sort of like humanoid, sort of like human influences on some of the architecture. The main tower itself seems very, very dwarven. Quinn, you look around and you spot a wooden sort of post against one of the annexes, which does seem to have varying planks leading from it. You go over to inspect, and it is indeed a notice board of sorts. One of the sections seems to be almost like a slightly Lonely Hearts section. A few posted notes on there, sort of like elderly elven male seeking companionship and ale.
That's perfect for Vistra.
But there does seem to be a few sort of requests for aid and help of job postings.
Within like the city, or
Make an investigation check.
14.
Okay. There's quite a few sort of scrawled notes on this board. This has itself been quite large. Some of them ranging from help locating a lost pet, offering 5 to 10 gold. Some being escort missions for people wanting to head sort of towards the Antillians and towards the eastern of the Antillians. One being for a lost person far to the south towards Tundralong. One being for one being for aid in Melora's garden.
In the what garden?
Melora's garden.
Okay.
Where is?
It's not a place you've got on your map.
Do we know where Melora's garden is, or no?
Nope.
Okay. I'll be right back in a sec.
No worries. Yeah, so the rescuing, let's say, there's a lost pets escort to the Antillians and to the east of the Antillians.
Okay.
There's aid required in Melora's garden. There was rescue of a lost partner far in the south, last known heading towards Tundralong. Which, for those watching,
Would Melora mean anything to Quinn?
is here. Make a religion check.
God, what is my religion? Ha, nothing. Okay. 7.
The name rings a bell,
Okay.
but
I
you
just don't-
can't think quite right now what it relates to.
Okay.
Mm.
There he is.
There he is.
There's the birthday boy.
There he is.
I was gone for like 30 seconds. Calm down.
And we
So
missed you
the
for
name
every bit of it.
Melora rings a bell to Quinn, but she
Okay.
doesn't know how.
All right then.
It would make a religion check.
A religion check. Alright. What dice have I done? My dice have not been good tonight, so I don't count on anything. Yeah, that's 11.
That's enough. You sort of sit and think for a moment, and then sort of like a couple of things. You remember Melora is the name of the Wild Mother.
The what mother?
The Wild Mother.
The wild mother.
Okay. Melora?
The goddess of nature, wilderness, and the sea. Aaron knows this, but not.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Huh. So, what else is the posting say? It says what's wanted. What's the?
Lost. So there's the Lonely Heart.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Melora's Garden one in particular.
Aid required at Melora's Garden. There's very little else placed in part than that.
This one's curious, Quinn.
I know. So there's lost pets, escorts back to where we came from.
Well,
Which I would say
kind of where you came from, sort of like east of the Antillian. So you'd be heading, instead of going of the route you took, where
Yeah.
you came to the fork in the road, you'd be going further on from there.
But we'd be going away from where we want
Yes.
to go. And then there's a lost person. Last time we did a lost person, we kind of ended up watching her turn into a giant scorpion in front of us. I don't think we should do that.
All right.
Yeah, this either the lost pets. You could have Vistra go and try to find them. She's really good with animals, right?
She is, but my computer seems to be freezing. I can't do anything.
Oh.
Can you
That's
still
fine.
hear me? Oh,
Yeah,
there we go.
sorry.
Okay, now it caught up. It caught up.
Fine.
Okay, so yeah, either lost pets or if we could figure out where this Melora's Garden is, that'd be cool.
How much is a map?
You wouldn't know. You'd have to go and find a cartographer.
Okay.
Maybe we can ask someone in the town hall if they know Melora's Garden.
Is there like a building right next to this job board?
The job board is kind of like attached to sort of like part of the annex of the outside of this town hall.
Okay. Is there like a door or anything near it, like an office adjacent to it?
There's no doors on this building. It seems that the only way into this complex you can see is the guarded entrance to the town hall.
Okay.
City hall, sorry. City. It's a city. Not a town.
City Hall.
City hall.
All right.
See if someone knows where Melora's Garden is, or do we just want to find the lost pets?
I don't think the lost pets are in paying enough gold. It says only like 5 or 10 gold.
How many lost pet notices are there?
2.
20 gold right there. Something.
I mean, I'm curious. This Melora's Garden. Anyways, it's.
Yeah. Let's go at
I'm gonna grab the posting off the board and head towards the front of the town hall.
I'm grabbing the lost pets one. Wait, no. I'm gonna try to remember that, and we're gonna look at those when Vistra is actually with us.
Okay, that's fine.
That'd be mean if I take them and they'd.
That's fine. Irid approaching the entrance to the town hall, sort of like you see, sort of like 2 of the city guards, sort of like standing outside. One holding sort of like a very sort of like ornate but evidently useful spear, The other holding sort of a very sort of like a very beautifully carved glaive. The one with the glaive sort of like steps forward and sort of like it's weapon in hand, not pointed at you. He goes, "Can I help you?"
Yes, we saw a job on the nose board and we were inquiring about additional information about it.
I see. What was the job for?
It said aid is needed in Melora's garden.
Okay, you'd need to head to Melora's garden for information. We don't know anything about it. Sorry, it's a public notice board.
Where can you give me a general direction to Melora's garden?
New to the city, are you?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Melora's garden is the name of the grove to the south of the city.
Ah, yes, I've heard mention of the grove. I just haven't heard that name.
Absolutely fine. Yeah, it's the grove to the south of the sea.
All right. And you said it's a public notice board, so you guys have no records of who posted it or anything along that nature?
Unless it says inquire with him for details, then no.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Pleasure. And he sort of like steps backwards, literally walking backwards up the steps, eyes not really leaving you. Stands back by his post by the door.
And then, so, were you listening to that conversation?
Yeah, I was there.
Okay. Then no.
When we're enough away from them, I kind of really want to try out a spear sometime. That was a really cool looking spear.
It's a bit ornate. A bit.
You can poke things with it from far away.
I can shock things from far away.
I can't. Alright, let's just go to the grove.
Alright.
Okay.
So.
Like the collector of all the weapons, Dan. Just wait. We'll try each weapon at least once.
Aren't you not even? Can't you only use like simple weapons? What weapons can you even use?
Well, that's with proficiency. It doesn't mean I can't use them. It's just probably gonna be like disadvantage or something, right?
Yeah.
Why not?
You'd have a harder time hitting with something you're not used to wielding or typically able to wield.
That's what's gonna happen with the short bow and the crossbow.
Yeah, that could be interesting. That could be very interesting. Yeah, you'd know something like a glaive. You'd be using like your strength, or a spear. You'd be using your strength.
I can't lift anything. That's gonna be fun.
Exactly. It'd be funny. And you wouldn't get any proficiency bonus on it. So yeah, by all means, that could go very interestingly. So yes, no problem. Heading towards the south of the city, you pass by the Silver Goblet, where Vistra is standing outside, sort of like looking at the air around you, sort of like confused, going, "Where the fuck have you been?"
Not asleep.
Yeah, lying is fine. Had a really nice breakfast.
That's good. Would you like to earn some coin today?
Don't mind if I do.
Alright, come along. We're heading to this Melora's garden. They require some aid.
Sounds good to me. And as a trio, you head towards the south of the city, towards Melora's garden and the grove. You come around a corner of the street, sort of, and the houses seem to literally just stop. And the looking around you, sort of like the sounds of the city, sort of like you can still hear them, sort of like behind you, but in front of you, it almost seems serene. You can see a fairly large, sort of like grove of trees, sort of like that seems to be uncommonly close to the city. Beyond that is two sort of like very beautiful ornate buildings. One made of sort of like very stern stone, with very sort of like nicely carved and sculpted sort of like stone, sort of like almost like statues, sort of like poking out of the side of the building. The other one you can see is a beautiful wooden building. The wood almost seemingly sort of like growing out of the ground and around itself. Looking a bit closer, you can see that there is some stone elements in there, but the wood seems to have overtaken that, and it seems to be covered in vine and growth, and sort of like the top seems to have almost like a small sapling, sort of like sprouting leaves and branches out the top of it. this is Melora's Grove. And that is where we will end tonight.
Right.
Gotcha.
Indeed. While I poke Sarah and catch her up on what she missed. Which is fine. So hopefully we'll be back at full complement next week, which would be nice. I'm sure Sarah would want to be a part of this one.
I say she just missed out on a shopping episode. It's all good.
She did, it's fine. She doesn't seem the biggest shopper. It's fine, but no. Thank you guys for joining us. Happy birthday again, Tyler. Thank you for joining us on this one. Sorry,
Happy birthday.
Thank
it was
you.
a slightly shorter one than normal and late starting. But we'll be back again next week at the same time with episode 10. Double figures.
Whoa.
We have made it to double figures. All is good to the world. You have met some very fun and interesting people in the city that I created this week.
We were totally going to head back to Costin, FYI.
Oh, I couldn't resist trolling you on Twitter. That was so good.
You know what? If you head back to Coston, I'm fine with it. That's the joyous thing about this world. I've created it. You do what you will. You do what you will and suffer the consequences.
God, yeah, no, we have to suffer whatever we left behind.
Yeah, whatever you left behind and whatever you ran away from and avoided. Who knows what that's going to turn into.
It's okay. Scarl went to go get help, right?
Totally. Yeah, that totally happened. Right. Okay, so thank you for
He
joining us.
died on the road.
Thank you. You'll never know. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Erin.
Yep.
We will be back again 1:30 tomorrow night for some random video games of sorts. I have no idea what yet. I might play some more Hades because I've really been enjoying that off stream as well. Until then, thank you very much. Take care. So long.
Bye.
Oh, they can't see us anymore. See how this is Dan. Full screen yourself.